Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. This is your host Maryam Khan. Welcome to another episode of the Info Corridor Talk. Before we formally begin with the discussion with our worthy guest, let me give a brief introduction of our today's topic. Ladies and gentlemen, China Pakistan Economic Corridor is a framework of regional connectivity. CPEC will not only benefit China and Pakistan, but will have a positive impact on Iran, Afghanistan, Central Asian Republic, and the entire region. The enhancement of geographical linkages have improved road, rail, and air transportation system with frequent and free exchanges of growth and people-to-people contact, enhancing understanding through academic, cultural, and regional knowledge. Furthermore, it has also enhanced the activity of higher volume of flow of trade and businesses, producing and moving energy to have more optimal avenues and enhancement of cooperation by a win-win model will result in well-connected, integrated region of shared destiny, harmony, and development. To talk on the potential challenges and impediments in the CPEC project, we today have with us Dr. Muhammad Munir. Dr. Muhammad Munir is a renowned scholar who has 29 years of experience in research, academic management, and teaching at various leading think tanks and universities. He holds a PhD degree from Department Defense and Strategic Studies, Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad. Currently, he is serving as the Head of Department International Relations at Muslim Youth University, Islamabad. A very warm welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I would like to begin with a question that what progress has so far been made on CPEC project? This question is very important due to the fact that there is a growing perception that since the change of government in 2018, the CPEC project has been stalled.
Actually, Maryam, you are very much right that there is a perception that CPEC, there has not been much progress on this project. But before I answer your question, I would like to, I'm grateful for inviting me in your program, especially on this very important topic of CPEC. And regarding the progress on CPEC, I think there are a lot of misperception created about CPEC. First, when CPEC was started, that it was said that it was not useful project for Pakistan, and a lot of talk was done. But now there's a different type of propaganda is being done that this PTI government has installed the progress on this program. So actually, there are different factors which has impeded the progress or slowed down the progress on the CPEC projects. One was, I think, IMF factor that we were taking loan from IMF, and IMF want to know the Chinese investment, and that created some kind of doubts in Chinese that they don't want to reveal their investment in Pakistan. And secondly, this government, when the PTI government came, they want to review the projects, and they were thinking that the previous government, there was some corruption done in these projects. That also gave chance to PMLN to politicize the CPEC project, because CPEC project should not be politicized. I think there should it should have not done by that way. That it was a project which is a national project, I must say, which is beneficial for both China and Pakistan, but also for whole region. Regarding progress, I think the early harvest program was started by PMLN. There is no doubt about that. But I think PTI government has not stopped any project, and there was slow progress. There was many factors, as I mentioned, and one of the important factor was COVID-19, because of which many meetings of joint coordination meeting could not be held, because after 2 years now, the meeting of this held, and there were working groups, their meetings could not be held. But we cannot say that there has not been progress on CPEC under PTI government. I think if we see the main components of CPEC, the main one, there is energy projects, which make 70% of this CPEC investment. Because why we started energy project? Because when we are starting this industrialization and other kind of things, you need energy. So before that, we were having the energy problem because of load shedding and other kind of thing. So both Chinese and Pakistan leadership thought that we should work on energy projects. So there was more emphasis on energy projects. So during the PMLN government, all these energy projects were started, and 3,340 megawatt projects were completed during PMLN, and remaining, which was started under PMLN government, but 5,860 megawatt projects were completed under PTI government. So it shows that the progress was not, that these projects were not stopped. And then, for example, this 1,320 megawatt China Hub Coal Power Project was completed under PTI government. Then 660 megawatt Angro Thermal Coal Project was also completed in July 2019 under PTI government. Another project of HubCo, Thar Energy Project, 70%, 73% work has already been completed. And another very important project, that is 660 megawatt. Sorry, another project was this Matiari to Lahore, 660 kilometer transmission line, which was completed under PTI government. It is about 878 kilometer long transmission line, which was completed. So there was work done on energy projects as well. And then also, if you see in infrastructure projects, then about during PMLN, 394 kilometer roads were built. Also, work was started on other motorways and works. But during PTA government, 413 kilometer roads were constructed. For example, there's a lot of work has been done on western route of CPEC, especially Thaport William section was completed. Then we also saw this Multan Sakhar motorway, which was also inaugurated during PMLN government. And then many projects on Gwadar Port, especially East Bay Expressway, is at 92% work has been completed in the PTA government. Only I think 8% work is there. And this East Bay Expressway is very, very important because it will link, the trade zone, and it will also link with the Mikran coastal highway, which will link Gwadar to Karachi. So in this way, this project is also very important. And this government is also has started work on Gwadar airport, new airport. The work has been started, and many other projects. For example, even a hydro project, 720 megawatt Carrot hydro power, 90% work has been completed, and is expected that next year, in early next year, this project will also be completed. So we cannot say that under PTI government there has been no progress on CPEC. There was progress, I must say, but this progress has been slowed down, and there was very less debate on the progress of that. And I appreciate that you highlight, you have started this program highlighting that progress has been made on this CPEC.
Sir, as we have talked on the progress of CPEC, I want to ask you that what are the major internal impediments in the implementation of the CPEC project? Like, are they the policy challenges or the lack of political will, dismal economy, or terrorism?
I think the political will is there, that this PTI government is very much willing, but I think there was some policy challenges they were having, because when the PTI government came, they tried to review these projects, and because they were of the view that in these projects maybe there might be some corruption done by PMLN government, and then it gave a chance to PMLN and opposition to politicize these projects, and saying that the PTI government is slowing down and is not sincere in completing these projects. These projects were completed by Chinese companies and by some of the military institutions were involved into it. So this created some kind of mistrust among Chinese, companies as well, that that they have built these projects, and so this politicization has, impeded the progress of CPEC. And secondly, this security issues were another important aspect. Also, Chinese, worker and engineers, they never stopped work, even there were attacks on them in Balochistan and other areas, and they continue their work. But definitely, it has some implications when there is no safety kind of thing. So terrorism and other activities they have impact on CPEC. But I think I'm quite sure that our security agencies they were able to overcome this terrorism, and I think. CPEC also contributed towards this countering terrorism because it created some economic activity and there's a lot of cooperation of China in countering terrorism. So I think terrorism now cannot stop CPEC. Even India and other countries agencies were involved in sabotaging CPEC. So I think there was some policy challenges initially, but now the PTA government has realized that they and covered was I think one of the main impediment as Prime Minister Imran Khan has highlighted that because of this working group meetings and joint main body which where we take decisions, that is joint coordination committee meeting could not be held for last 2 years. So this all contributed towards slowing down the progress on CPEC projects. But I think work continue, but now they want to enhance, accelerate the progress of CPEC projects.
All right, now that we have discussed the internal challenges, this leads to my another question, which is that I would like to ask about the external challenges to CPAC. Like, sir, do you think the international power politics impact the CPAC project?
Definitely, whatever developments we study in international relations, that internal factors as well as external factors, external factors also contribute towards the achievement of your objectives. So, in terms of CPEC, I think external factors are equally very important. That especially U.S.-China relations, their strategic competition, especially during the Trump era, we saw there was a trade war between the two countries, and there were a lot of trade barriers and trade, tariffs imposed by USA against China, and that also, have some kind of implication for CPEC because this China US India relation, US India has enhanced their strategic cooperation, which will have implications. And mostly we saw that United States was seeing CPEC with the eyes of the Indian perspective. They were always highlighting that this CPEC is passing through disputed territory of Gilgit and Baltistan and Pakistan, Kashmir. So, there's no international law which prohibits any country to do some, development work in the disputed territory. But I think that this Gilgit Baltistan is as a set of area of Pakistan. It is not. We don't think that it's a part of Kashmir, but it is under control of Pakistan. But even if we talk about Kashmir, then India is also doing a lot of development projects in Indian held Kashmir. So we have never objected onto that. And many areas which are disputed, India is involved there and doing some development projects. So I think these are propaganda. And then another thing is hybrid warfare. The way the propaganda is made against CPEC, that it will create World Bank statements on that it will become a liability for Pakistan, and international organizations sometimes highlighting negatively to CPEC, and especially in the West, the CPEC is not considered very useful project. So I think all this also affect the development and create sometimes challenges. But for example, other countries like European Union and UK, they see CPEC in a positive way. So there are mixed reactions at international level, especially India, I think, and USA. They have some objections, and Indo-US, strategic competition. They will also increase because we have relations with both countries. So when you have to maintain and balance your relation, so definitely you would have to listen each point of view. But I think our government, after coming of Taliban and withdrawal of US forces from Afghanistan, I think now we will be listening to, we will be more inclined towards China, which is our strategic partner and which has always helped Pakistan in critical times. I think now there has been realization at policy level that we should continue and enhance and consolidate our cooperation with China. That will have positive effect on CPEC and will also, you can say counter these negative international impacts on CPEC.
Sir, after considering both the internal and external impediments, it is imperative to also discuss the potential and the prospects of CPEC. So, in this context, I would like to know that what is the true potential of CPEC project, and what role do you think will it play in uplift of regional economies? And I would also like to know that what, in your opinion, should Pakistan do to make a CPEC project all inclusive and invite all the other countries to become part of this mega economic project?
Thank you, madam. This is very, very important question you have asked because a CPEC without regional connectivity will not service this, it will not realize its true potential. For example, we can extend CPEC to Afghanistan because this is very good time that we can extend the CPEC to Afghanistan, which will enhance our trade and would also enhance cooperation with Afghanistan. And because now Chinese are investing on Chabahar port, so that also provide an opportunity to have collaboration between Gwadar port and Chabahar port that will be complementary to ports. So we can also enhance our, we can also extend CPEC to Iran. So that is very important. And also, particularly, I have been emphasizing in my research. I also wrote one research paper on the Wakhan importance, strategic significance of Wakhan corridor. So we can also, there's another alternate route for CPEC to reach Central Asia, which is, I think, shortest route to reach Central Asia via Afghanistan to Central Asia. Wakhan corridor is very important because now CPEC is passing, we are entering Central Asia through China. So I think this is an alternate route we should also consider to negotiate with China to build this alternate way to extend CPEC through Wakhan corridor to Central Asia. But it is very important because it will benefit Pakistan, China, Central Asia, Middle East, all these countries. And Pakistan, I think, should use CPEC for the attainment of our foreign policy objective and for our economic diplomacy. Because we should improve our relations with Central Asian countries and also South Asian countries, even Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, they can benefit from CPEC project because China has very good relation with these countries. And I think we have also invited India to be part of it, but India has never considered Pakistan, and even China has invited India to be part of CPEC. But India, always is most interested in geopolitics rather than geoeconomics. So I think Pakistan's approach is all inclusive. We are not saying that it is just Pakistan and China project. It is I think, multi-dimensional project where all countries are invited. They can understand. I think I forget on the progress that there has been progress on two economic zones, like the one is Allama Iqbal Industrial Zone in Faisalabad, another is Rashakai Economic Zone in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So I think there are many others where we can invite other countries to develop these industrial zones. We can invite other countries, Western countries. We can invite, Middle Eastern countries also. As we know, Saudi Arabia is very much interested to build refinery in Gwadar port, and Gwadar port is a lot of progress is being made now. PTI government is also constructing the new airport there, and a lot of work has been done on Gwadar port. A lot of projects are taken, especially their trade zones are being built, and some steel mills are also will be built in Russia. So I think the potential is quite good, and regional countries connectivity, I think it is an inclusive project, and Pakistan always has never objected to participation of any other country to CPEC. It is not just China-Pakistan project, but other countries, regional countries, can also participate and contribute to it and can benefit from it.
Sir, while discussing the potential and prospects of CPEC, the role of youth in academia came in my mind, and I think this is very vital. So, what in your opinion, is the role of academia and students in the CPEC project?
I think this is a very important question as well, because academia and youth can play a very important role. There should be exchanges of academia and we are having a of seminars, conferences was held interactions between academia of China and Pakistan. But now, because of COVID, these all these conferences could not be held, and the exchange program was stopped. I think now this government should provide funding to the universities and also encourage youth exchange between the BRI countries, and especially Pakistan, China, and our neighboring countries, Central Asian countries, to highlight the importance of CPEC, how these countries can benefit by joining CPEC, what are the potentials, and they need to research to find out new avenues of to build new avenues of cooperation between our regional countries, how the CPEC can be useful for all these countries, for Middle East countries, because it will shorten the distance between various countries. For example, Central Asia from if the China's exports the distance if it's importing items from Middle East, I think it through Strait of Malacca and other, it is more than 16,000 kilometers. So through CPEC, it will be just 3,000 kilometers. So you can see, you can imagine how much distance has been lessened, and also it will reduce the cost of transportation, which will be 5 times less if it is all this trade is done through CPEC up to Rutherford. So I think it will these things can be highlighted by the academia and by the youth, and there should be more, tourism kind of things and visits. Because now we have linked, we have these road links. So through these, there should be travel of students and young people, and academia should do some research, and they can be provided funded by government. HEC also last year, I think, provided one grant for the universities, but there is more need for the government to give directly grant to universities and scholars to give more research projects and more academic activities on CPEC should be done. And I appreciate your program as well. I think it is a very good initiative you have taken to discuss progress of CPEC, and more such programs should be held, I think. I highly appreciate your effort.
Indeed, sir. Thank you so very much for taking out time and joining us and enlightening us with all the thoughts of yours over CPEC.
Thank you very much, Maryam. I really enjoyed your program.
Thank you so much, sir.